You know what's funny? As men, we think, well, some men think like this. When I get XYZ goal, when I achieve what I want, when I get that house, when I have my family, when I'm making 50K a month, when I'm just fully free, life will be good. And then I'll be able to chill. And I think that's one of the biggest lies that's fed to, well, successful men, really, men that actually manage to achieve their goals. Because as men, I'm a firm believer that you always need to be doing something. As soon as you stay idle, as soon as you basically don't have that purpose, that thing that keeps you awake at night on some nights, that gets you out of bed in the mornings because you're excited to actually execute on it and achieve whatever that purpose is, whatever the mission is, whatever the missions are in your life. That is something that every single man needs, regardless of where you are at in your life, right? Whether you're at the bottom or at the top, you need something to be striving for. And therefore, you need to be moving towards that goal every single day. As soon as you stay idle as a man and you basically just completely slack off and lose any sense of purpose, any sense of direction, that I genuinely believe is one of the worst things you can do as a man, because that is when you get depressed. I don't really believe in depression, but that is when you'll genuinely feel sad and unfulfilled inside because you're not actually moving towards something. And this doesn't need to be the biggest thing on earth. It doesn't need to be the biggest goal. You don't need to have goals like Elon Musk and try and, colonize Mars, right? No. You need to figure what that purpose is for yourself and always give yourself something to strive for on the daily basis. Okay? Because all it takes is one day where you feel a bit lost and purposeless and you lose your sense of direction, and then that can lead and feed on into the second day, third day, and so on and so forth. And before you know it, you're in a rut where you've absolutely lost all your sense of purpose. You've replaced positive habits with bad habits, with vices, and before you know it, it's a very hard place to get out of, right? To climb out of. It's a dangerous place, being in a rut, right? And that all starts with basically being idle, not having a to-do list every single day and not ticking off the tasks and making sure that you're actually progressing every single day. Again, I talk about this a lot on my channel. It doesn't need to be perfect every single day. Every day, in fact, is not going to be glamorous. It's going to be in most cases, it's going to be ugly. You're going to feel like shit. You're not going to want to do the work. But I can tell you one thing: doing the work, regardless of the self-doubt, the voices in your head that tell you that you don't want to do the work and that you'd prefer watching Netflix or watching a crappy, TV show or YouTube video or whatever, or scrolling on TikTok or Instagram for days and days. The voice that tells you that, or the voice that tells you that you just don't want to do the work and you'd prefer to do something else, is the exact voice that you need to overcome by simply doing the work. Because the more you stay idle, the more that voice becomes powerful. And the more that voice becomes powerful, the harder it is to actually go ahead and do the work and make something out of your life. And so you've got to understand, uncertainty is created by inaction. The more inaction you have in your life, the more uncertainty and doubt creeps into your life. And therefore, conversely, if you actually just take action daily and do what is required of yourself, because you've listed it out the day before, the night before, you know what you need to do, you've got your to-do list. If you just take action on that, regardless of how you feel, regardless of the doubt or the laziness maybe that is creeping into your life at that given moment, that is going to create certainty. And that is the beauty of life. The more action you take, the more certain you become of whatever it is you're doing. And therefore, the easier it becomes to continue to take action and build that positive momentum. So that is why one of the worst things you can do as a man is staying idle, because the more you do that, the less fulfilled you'll be, the more unfulfilled you'll be, the more frustrated you'll be just at life in general. You'll be unconfident because you're not pursuing something that's greater than yourself and other people around you. You're not pursuing that North Star, whatever that is for you in your life. And it's very hard as a man. It's just how we're biologically wired, right? It's very hard as a man to actually be fulfilled. I'd go to say it's impossible. I'm yet to see a man that's genuinely happy, just doing shit that is frivolous, you know, and stuff that isn't actually, like, doesn't have a purpose right behind it. Okay, look, you could be a man like that has a purpose behind playing video games, right? Like, if you're actually doing it for a purpose, I don't know, maybe you have the ambition to be the biggest streamer in your country, like, that's actually a purpose, funnily enough, right? It's just the problem is most men don't do it productively. They play video games to escape their reality, and that's a whole other conversation in itself. But they're doing that because they don't actually have that strong purpose, and therefore they're idle, they're unfulfilled, they're unconfident, and that leads to so many other bad habits in other areas of their life, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And one of the best ways to actually make something out of your life is to simply set a plan, take action, execute every single day, regardless of how you feel, and you will figure it out as you go along. That is the beauty of it. You'll become more certain as you take more action. And before you know it, you'll look up around you and you'll be living a life that you're very proud of, that you're very fulfilled about, that gives you fulfillment. And then it'll be about simply finding the next mountaintop to reach. See you in the next video.